back with another video on React Native mobile application development. So in today's video we are going to implement APIs. So let's get started. So to implement APIs, first we have to install a library called Axios. So let's type React Native Axios. So Axios is a very famous library for calling the APIs, get APIs, post APIs, and all kind of APIs. Okay, so install Axios. We have to type this yarn at Axios. Okay, so let's just go in our project and add Axios. So the Axios is successfully installed in our projects. Let's run our project npx React Native. So our project is successfully run, and let me show you the official GitHub page of Axios. So this is the official page of GitHub on GitHub Axios. So I will also give this link in the description. So if you want to do want to search anything or want to do anything, you can go here and implement your stuff. So our project is successfully run, so let's implement. So first of all, what we need is to config Axios in our project, in our config folder. So let's just create a folder of API. So called the folder API. So after creating an API folder, let's just make a file index.js in it. Okay, and in this file we are going to configure our Axios so we can use it all over the application. So to implement, to configure, first what we need a base URL. So I say base underscore URL is equals to this. So guys, the base URL will be the endpoint of your APIs. So here I have a postman over here, and in my postman you can see that I have a API. Okay, this is our sign-in API. And if I hit this API and provide some data, so it will return some data. Okay, and this is a post API which take data in raw in JSON format. Okay guys, so let's so our base URL will be this. Okay, the base URL will be this. Okay, and after that what we need is to create our Axios client. So I can say export, so we can use it in all other files. Export const Axios client, and let's use the Axios library that we installed, Axios dot create. Okay, and after that you will have to do round brackets and the curly braces, and in this you have to give your base URL like this. That's it guys, that's it for configuring this is how you can create your Axios client. Okay, so we will also define our all endpoints like sign up, sign in, and get products, create products in our also in our API, this API folder in our index.js. So let's say export const, this is our sign in API, so I will say sign in, and it will be this sign in.php. okay, and save it. Okay, so our Axios is created successfully, so let's just test it. And so let's come in our sign in file, sign in screen. So after the sign in with Google, when Google gave us the sign in data, so after that we have to trigger our API. And those who don't follow and those who don't know how to implement sign in with Google, I already explained in my previous video, so you can check it out, guys. Okay, so let's make a function. So the function will be asynchronous function because this is the API implementation. So async function, I will be name this function to say sign in API. Okay, you can name it whatever you want, and this API will take a data means, let's say it's a Google data. Okay, so we will have to pass the Google JSON data. So let's call it after, if we get the data, let's call it here sign in API, and call and pass the data. Okay, so after that, what we need, we have to set our loading is equals to true. Okay, so our loader will be show, and then we have to call our API. Okay, to call our API, what we need is first of all we will do like await, because we have to wait for our API to process the Axios client. So the Axios client that we are already created in our API index.js folder, and we say Axios, and this is a post request, and in this post request we have our endpoint is this sign in. Okay, so our endpoint is this and our Axios client is this, and we are creating a post request. And the params, yeah, so here what we have to provide a params like what parameter does our API take. Okay, so let's copy paste my parameter and over here, and I will say const API params is equals to this. So to create params, let's just remove all this double colons. Okay, so our API take these parameters. Okay, and these params will be passed our Axios post request. Okay, so I will say API params. So our login source means we are signing with Google or Facebook, so our login source will be Google. And let's just see what type of data it is returning. Okay, so const console.log log data. Let's give it a return, and let's test what type of data that we are going to have with signing with Google. Okay, so we got the data. Let's see the data in parse JSON online. Okay, and let's just copy paste it over here. So this is the data that we got. Okay, so yeah, so let's SID. So second parameter is SID. So what will be the SID? SID is the ID token that we get from Google. So let's say Google data dot ID token. Okay, and after this we have to provide name and email. So we can get the name from the user tab. So we have to say that the name will be Google data dot user, and user, after user it will be given name dot given name, and email will be the same given name, and you can pass the name whatever you want to pass. Okay, and we have email, so it will be like Google data dot user dot email, and we have also photo. So provide photo to provide photo we are going to pass Google data dot user dot photo. And for FCM token, let's just place it as it is, because FCM is a Firebase token, but we are not going to implement Firebase in this video, but we are going to implement in our next video. So push notifications. Okay, so we here we provide all our data that we have to pass. Okay, and we also call our API. So the API gives us some data in the return, like this data. It will give us a data in the return. So how we can get this? We can destructure our this await and say give us a data and also give us a status. Like if the integrated successfully, we get the response successfully, so we have to get the status. Okay, so after getting the data and after the API process is completed, so we have to set our loading false. We don't have to show our loader again, and then say if our status equal to status equal to 200. Okay, so it means that our API is run successfully, and if our status is 200, then what we have to do is to take the user to the next screen. Okay, so take the user to the next screen, we use navigation.navigate function, and let's just create our welcome screen. I say it welcome, and index.js, and React Native function, and say welcome screen. Okay, save it, and let's come to our app.js and import our welcome screen, and let's add our welcome screen with this. Copy paste these two things. Okay, and we have to say in our sign in that you have to navigate to the welcome screen. the status is 200. And one more thing that we also have to take care that, so this is the status 200, but our API also giving us a status. Okay, so I have to say that if data dot status, okay, this is status equal to 200, then move towards the next. So and if we don't get the data status to 200, we will toast our message, and toast message will be an error, and which is saying, because our API also giving us the message, so let's say data dot message. Okay, and if you don't get the 200 response, it means there's some kind of blocking or some kind of error in the API side, so it will also print us toast the message saying error. But you will not get the error right now, you will just say that, let's say error in sign in API. Okay, I'll save it. So right now our API integration is successfully completed, and let's just test our code. We do not provide the endpoint correctly, so it will be like this and this. Okay, and one more thing that we have to change over here, that in our SSID we don't pass this ID token. We have to pass in our user, you can see there is a ID, so we have to pass this ID. Okay, so let's just pass this ID like this. Okay, let's save it. And now before testing the application, so I just uninstall my application, and let me show you the whole process. Let's run our app again, and okay, so our application is run again, and let's click on a Google sign in button. Okay, so our dialog is appearing good, and it's loading. Okay, okay, welcome to online shop. Okay, so okay, so as you can see over here, our API is successfully implemented, and we also jump to our welcome screen. So that's it for today, guys. See you in the next video, and if you have any questions, then you can ask me in the comments, and if you like this series, then support my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a nice day.